Hello community, I'm recording this video just as a quick thank you. Thank you so much because after 3 years to be working on the XSI mod theme, the Blender Foundation decided that it was time to integrate different themes from other software packages for the users to simulate the interface at a quick glance. The purpose of creating themes in Blender, visual themes actually, colors, shapes, icons, is to identify common guided colors and color palettes and schemes from the previous user package. That means that if you were a MODO user, you will try to identify inside Blender what MODO should look like within the icons and operators. So what we have here, it's a revamped XSIMOD theme, specifically named as XSI, and I want to quickly walk you through this because there are some things that the developers took the liberty to modify. This is a matter of preference, so I will show you some of the things that I had before and what they did after. But overall, I'm very happy with this version because it doesn't feel as an outdated 80s or 90s color scheme, which I already posted on this link that you see up here. What they did here, it's a very awesome revamp for 2020. Of course, you can continue to reconfigure this theme, so I will walk you quickly through it. The first thing that we see is now that all the gray components are very nicely integrated into the interface. So we can see the icons for the objects are now blue colored, and you can identify them right here with blue color. So everything that is related to the object transformations or object properties are going to live in this tab. Now the only thing I see here is that whenever you have all of these panels closed down, you cannot associate this color to be connected with this other color. Okay, that I will show later how I dealt with that. But regarding the theme in overall, I set some rules, set some design and user interface design rules, so that all of this was, very readable for the new user or someone who has been working with Softimage in the past, so that you can come here and clearly read the icons and the colors. So the second thing that I find that was not implemented as I originally proposed was the multi-selection for the objects. So if you see here, if I select this object, you can see it's the same color white than the outline, and that's very good in object mode. We're using this in object mode. But if I press shift and now I select the second arm, I see that this is white and this is also white. But what this causes here, let me just join this. What we can see here is that both elements are highlighted in the same highlight value, and we don't know which one is the last selection. And as you know, in Blender, that is important. Why? Because we don't know which one is going to be the parent, and the parent it's always selected last. So in that case, I very dimly made the selections a little bit grayish, like this highlight you see here. If I move my cursor, you see the next object to be selected. That was the idea back there. So the last object to be selected should not have this white selection bar, but instead the object itself name will highlight, and the last selected object will then have this bar highlighting. Okay, it's a little bit difficult to explain it right now because as they left it, it's complicated to see it in action. So now, well, this is just a quick demonstration I had for cycles, which this file I'm working on a commission for 3D short animation that it's connected here. It's readable. It's awesome. It's neat. I can switch from EV to cycles. Let me switch that right now. I don't know if shaders will start compression down here. Also, that's another nifty thing that I see here. The bar has been changed. It is not longer a dark color over a white text, but in this case the entire interface is integrated as one. I kind of like it like it was before, because being a dark bar down here, but down here as a dark status bar, whenever we get emergent messages, we can see them right here. You know, we can see warning messages, we can see any other important messages like compression, rendering, and now they just mix all together with the gray value. It is not wrong, it is just a matter of choice to do and select all of that. Now let me hide this, just press H, and this is my render view for EB, so that way we can move faster. Now another thing I discussed with the developers was that they wanted to create this checkboxes in a grayscale as well, and I told them, well, it should not be, because the green will allow the user to know that this is available for either animating or checking it in. So that way we can see, you know, that the effect will activate. I just activated screen space reflections, and probably we can see, yeah, we can see the eyes reflecting some of the light that is in this scenario. Okay. Now, why do we see this? Well, this is Blender Vanilla, by the way. This is Blender 283 Experimental, so that's why you see a lot of things that are not common in the videos that I present, because I select everything and rearrange everything as it should, so you can get a much better experience. And I will leave you the links up here in the right corner, so you can read all about what you need to configure straight out of the box. Especially if you're a Steam user, you will be interested in installing Blender, and then when the time for 283 arrives to be installed, you will automatically get that instant notification update for that. And well, there are other things that we can cover, but I don't want to make this video too long. If we go into edit mode, we also see there's another change that they did here, and this was not a change that I passed in my original theme. You can see that the object it's blue vertices, and that's good. If you grab them, that's all right. But the second developer, or rather the second user that took the liberty to enter into the XSI original mod theme, suggested, you know, we should change that, because we cannot identify, for example, faces, and there were some things changed here, because as you know, if you work in Softimage, and rather if we are taking in acquaintance that we are editing a selected object, then this selected object should be white, and in case that we want to get into edit, this object should turn into yellow, which is kind of the default theme in Softimage. But I don't want to get too deep into that, because they, you know, took the liberty also to create this kind of icons and create all of this to the better choice of the user. But if you still want to select or create or work with the usual Softimage workspace color schemes, I will take this and then further refine it, not only as a matter of choice, but as the original intent for the colors should be like for okay, render result, I don't know, let's go for all right. So yeah, I can see that they have respected the UV editor. This is how you originally see your mesh editing here in the viewport. It's yellow on the UV editor, it's yellow on the viewport. Now, having different color schemes, this was also explained on the long document I sent to the developers, makes the user really confused. Why? Because you're seeing grayish lines here, but you're looking at yellow lines here, and the purpose of that is to obscure rather the object, and then make the highlights, in this case the wireframes, be very much readable. Now I am in solid view. Let's go to object wireframe, and this gets even worse. Now they can understand why I told them to respect some of the parameters and color schemes that I already suggested. Now this pinkish line, like it's not readable at all. That's why they are yellow. I mean, I explained this all, but there was this other user who just boarded the conversation, decide to overwrite 3 years of investigation, or rather preparation. It is true that there were some things that were left on the air from my side, left hanging in the air from my side, but they were very small things. So just to compare the 282 color scheme that I have, I differentiate this bar for the main tools to work, because you need somehow to identify where your main tools in your software are. So that's that, and they just turn it out into gray. Also, if I am in object mode but then I switch into edit mode, you can clearly see that now we have, let me switch off the see-through, the yellow lines to be selected. Now if I am on the UV editor, such as this thing right here, if I select them all, I can now see that every face selected, or every item selected, it's turning red. Now this is the expected behavior, because that's how Softimage works. I mean, this is not something I made up. That's how it works. So I spent quite a lot of time to synchronize the UV editor plus the you can see it right here, plus the viewport. So if I select something here, it's also red. It resonates with whatever thing you have selected there. So you can see there the vertices are in blue. Of course, if I switch to vertex mode, I can see vertex selection filter, sorry, I can select and observe that whatever thing I select, it's red against the blue. Now this is also part of the color scheme that it was originally intended for the Softimage workflow, as well as the transparent tools that you see right here. Why didn't I put gray background around them? Because that way you can only select just one item, and then you can see that item from far away. So that's the same principle that it's right here. So if you can see, if you click here, this color scheme will try to assimilate the same space that it's over here. Now what the devs did smartly was to change this from black to dark, okay? And also they respected the color scheme for the materials, because I suggested them, the most important nodes here in the material editor are orange coded, and this is orange coded, and whatever material appears there, the icon will also be orange colored, and also the world, because the world and the materials are manipulated from the same workspace. So that's why you can see that those scheme work as well. What other things? I decided this should be kind of a purplish selection for the objects, because that resembles another color that comes from Softimage, like when you have the numpad. I'm sorry, this is right here. You have this violet purplish color, so I guess that somehow relates to the transformation of the object. Your object is purple and your transform palette is violet, just like the first nodes that you see in modeling in Blender. So this is not just casual, this was because of that purpose, because you start your operations in Softimage in a purplish node. So that's why they are like that. And over here I did not place any different special colors like they have now, so they did that properly, and that was awesome. And as you can see, the dialogues down here cannot be that much readable at a later date than when you click, and then you get the warning in a light blue, and then it goes and fades to dark blue, so you cannot much read there whatever it's saying. But you can read in a special way this very high contrast dark and white color scheme, which I really like, because it's not interfering with the rest of the interface. Because if I have manipulations here, and then I have warning message here, and then this workspace, which is the material editor mixes with this other space here, then I will not, as a user, as a first time user or as a experienced user, I will not get the context of what is going on. I don't know if my material editor is blinking or is my general interface trying to say something to me. So that's why I think I should put this back. And of course, if you feel different about it, no problemo, because this is an open community and you can do whatever you want to your theme. This is just the basic stuff that I arrange so that the user can know what is going on between spaces. Because currently in Blender, there are only only a few places where you can really, interact in this viewport, which is the object mode, and then interact in another viewport, which is I don't know, whatever any other workspace there is, and there is no color correlation. I want to get this very clear, very across. There is no color correlation. I've been talking about it, and why the decisions I made are clear. When we have this blue bar here, it's not just a random color. For the Softimage users, it's the most usual color where you will see the render nodes being active, the render module, if we can say it so. But where do we see this color repeat? On the object selection. If you can see here, it's of the blue color. So that means whatever I am deciding, this blue bar will point my eyes to be something like, hey, something is going on here. So what in the entire interface without me doing anything is pointing to something selected as a main control for the interface. Oh wow, look, there's a blue bar here. And I remember, there's a blue bar selection here for the menus as well. So this is just the color scheme in a pretty quick manner shown here for you to differentiate what objects and what elements are doing what. But overall, I'm glad that they took the XSI theme in Acquaintance, and now it's part of this amazing set of overall themes. And I've been a MODO user for like around 1 year, and I totally feel right at home. And see, this matches what you're seeing here on the viewport. Oh no, it doesn't. Also black lines with weird things like no, that's not how MODO does it. So yes, they also told me that they are working on developing new themeable, like you can apply themes to, selections that you can apply themes to. So this is barely just scratching the surface. The developers are making a great using experience with these themes. I am sure that most of you will be curious and will contribute to better enhance these themes. Like, this is totally open, this is an open source software. I mean, it is expected from you to go in there and tweak your thing. So I beat you to do that, and I just want to give you this quick update on the XSIMOD theme, as well as all the other amazing themes. Like, I don't know, let's try, where is Max? Not Max at all. Anyway, so we can go to print friendly, and this definitely will help a lot of trainers, online trainers or PDF trainers that will want to help people to learn Blender. Now I have a suggestion regarding this. When you print blue against black, you will not read whatever thing it's there. Also, when you have green against gray, you will not have anything there. And there are other couple of things, but this is just pure basis so that you can all start contributing to these themes. I will leave the link down here below so you can join the thread and start contributing as well. As for me, I am really humbled to be given this opportunity, and I really want to thank you all for your suggestions, for your follows. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I am also developing stuff over Patreon, which has to do with AR and your phones. So if you are interested in that, you can follow me as well. As for me, thank you so much, and please stay safe, stay at home. Try to learn new things, try to read new things, try to, start compositing that script that you ever had in your mind, and concentrate on the things that really, allow you to disperse your mind from this global pandemic that there is. There are a lot of news, and they are hiding a lot of stuff for you so that you don't get to panic. But if you research enough, you will see that we're in the middle of a war. And I don't want to say any apocalyptic things, but I just want you to be safe and take Blender as a great tool to advance into your career for now. So make great use of your time, and thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.